Turn 1 Soul Ring.
I kind of like the secret window.
Yeah, it was good.
All right. A lot of people say it's bad. I was like, oh.
I think just because it's like I think people say that a lot about movies where it seems like the bad guy gets away with it when he wins.
Oh.
But I really enjoy stories like that because
Yeah.
they're so few and far between.
Yeah, they're not like your standard Hollywood ending, you know?
Yeah.
I like stuff like that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I think
Also,
that's
Johnny Depp's a good actor.
absolutely. I think that's why we enjoy stories with an anti-hero because they're sort of morally questionable. Like like old Vegeta here from Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
Right? Like he's kind of a piece of shit for most of the series, but we still like him.
Yeah, he's a hero in the end, and you're like, yeah, go Vegeta.
Yeah, and even when he's a hero, when he goes like Majin and he's like kills all those people at the World Tournament, we still like him.
Yeah.
It's like he's a pretty cool guy.
Vegeta's sweet.
All right, welcome to the show, everybody. I'm Kevin,
And I'm Eric.
and you're listening to another episode of Turn 1 Soul Ring.
Yeah.
You're here for salty cards, and we're talking about them.
We got salty cards and salt.
We should have got some salt.
Oh, every card we just kind of...
Yeah, sprinkle some salt on,
Yeah.
or throw some over our shoulder for good luck.
There we go.
Although we'd have to spill it first because it's bad luck. So you do the good luck thing to...
You can't just throw salt over your shoulder for good luck?
I don't know. It's all BS
I've
anyway.
been
It's
doing that for
luck's not a
years,
thing. I mean, it's a thing if you believe in it.
There we go.
It's just it's like anything. It's
Yeah.
like it's like turning the calendar over before the month ends is bad luck, but turning the calendar over after the month ends is bad luck. Right? I just made both of those things up.
You just got to stay up at midnight, and once the, like...
That's right. But staying up past midnight is bad luck.
Oh, then you're...
I know. It's
You just can't win.
Yeah. No, it's you're rocking a hard place. Which is a lot of times where we find ourselves with these cards.
Sure.
But it's pretty much just a hard place.
Yeah.
But before we get to the cards, actually, you know what? I think today we're just going to get to the cards.
How are we just going to get to the cards? Sure.
Yeah, let's just get to the cards.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't, right. There's probably something newsworthy, but I think we're just going to get to the cards today. We're mixing things up. So
I'm curious, too. I don't know what your salty cards are.
yeah, that's right. We didn't reveal our lists to each other.
Like you do with the bet cards. So,
That's right.
yeah.
So, Eric, why don't you start with your number 10?
Cool. I was going to be sure we're going 10 to 1 again, right?
Yeah, we're going
a good way to do it.
Yeah, 10 to
Yeah.
1. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, also, like, a lot of the cards, sometimes I'm like, I kind of like playing that card. So I don't know if I can make it a salty card, but...
I think you can make it a salty
like,
card even if you like playing it. So, a couple of the cards on my list I like to play, but still, when they're played against me, I'm like, oof. Like,
Get out of here.
These are still good cards. They're, at least my list, they're good cards. It's just they don't feel good. And it's all about how you play them, right? Because
Yes.
even if you play a card and it is very salt-inducing, if you win the game immediately afterwards, no big deal.
Yeah.
Right? You don't. But it's when you have to like sit and live with the effect of that card for turn after turn after turn, and nothing's happening.
Get out of here.
And that's what compiles a lot of my list.
All right. So I'm starting off pretty easy here. Sarah Ascendant.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So 1 and a white. It's a 1/1 with lifelink. But as long as you have 30 or more life, Sarah Ascendant gets +5/+5 and has flying.
Now, this was a card that was obviously R&D designed before Commander was a thing.
Yes.
Because now you have cards where it's like your life total has to be X amount of life higher
Greater than
your
starting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just because like a lot of the times I see this, it's just like, I got a 1-drop, I got a 6/6 flyer with lifelink. Cool.
And you just start swinging.
Don't like you now. Like,
But a lot of times that's not going to win people. That doesn't win people games.
No.
It's more than a... What is it? It's more than an eighth of our life total in Commander, but it's... by the time that life loss becomes a problem, you've already built up enough of a board, or somebody has removed it.
Yeah, hopefully. It just like feels real bad to use your removal spell on this like 1-drop creature as well.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
All right, well, my number 10 is Obliterate. So Obliterate is 6 and 2 red for a sorcery. Obliterate can't be countered. Destroy all artifacts, creatures, and lands. They can't be regenerated.
That's not fun.
No, it's not fun. And the thing that's the least fun about it is that the times when I've seen it cast against me, there has not been a follow-up. They just cast it, and then it's like we started a new game, but we didn't get to draw 7 cards. Also, if you had enchantments, they're fine. And planeswalkers, too. Those are fine, too. Like, this would be great in a planeswalker deck, I guess.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just... I'm probably going to say this a few times in throughout my list of cards, but playing cards like this, I don't have a problem with it. But if you don't have a way to win relatively quickly after you play this card,
that's when I have the problem.
People just get upset.
Yeah.
So, anyways, it does have like a restrictive mana cost. But when I think about a card like Worldfire, I think that's a more fun card because everyone's life total becomes 1, and you pitch your entire hand. So it's like draw. What do I get? Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, Obliterate. It's just like
just not.
Yeah. And I don't see it very often, so that's good. But
yeah, for good reason.
Yeah.
All right, move on to my number 9. I chose Rhystic Study.
Interesting.
Yeah. So Rhystic Study is the great blue enchantment, 2 of anything, 1 blue. Whenever an opponent plays a spell, you may draw a card unless they pay 1.
It is the great. They should change the card type to great.
Great enchantment.
Great enchantment. Yeah.
Yeah. The reason why this card is on my list.
I think I know the reason why, but
nobody pays ever. Pay. Card advantage and commander is crazy. It's so good.
Pay.
Just pay for it, please.
Well, I think the thing that I get salty about with this card, in the last year or so, is because they changed the ruling on it. So you have to ask.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. So you can't just, you couldn't just cast your commander, and I have a Rhystic Study out, and I can see that you've clearly not paid any more mana than you'd have to pay to cast your commander. And Rhystic Study is a cast trigger. So to me, that says you haven't paid, right?
So
and we have an understanding, right? You know Rhystic Study's on the battlefield.
Yeah.
At least you should. And so I just get to draw. But, now I have to ask every single time. And that's what's so annoying for me about Rhystic Study.
It becomes more annoying. Yeah.
It becomes more annoying because... And it also creates an environment where you're making players be less aware, or you're allowing players to be less aware of what's on the battlefield, right?
Which isn't where we want to be with Magic.
Absolutely not. No, you want to be continuously getting better at that and recognizing what cards do and what they are and when and where they're on the battlefield.
Yeah, for sure.
But yes, very, very tedious card.
Very tedious.
Yeah.
And sometimes I have not paid, but it's doing something big that turn. But there's just so many times when people are just do nothing and they never pay, and the guy gets so hard in cards, and I'm like, ugh.
And they have the mana sitting there. It's I've got 1 extra mana. It's you're not going to do anything with that. Just pay.
Just do it.
And now that they have to ask every time, just pay.
Makes it more annoying.
Yeah.
The salt pile grows.
All right, we're going to move on to my number 9. Sunder. Sunder is 3 and 2 blue for an instant. Return all lands to owner's hands. So I don't really get too salty about cards like Armageddon, where all your lands get destroyed. But, well, the reason I don't get too salty about that is because it's so easy to mass land recur lands from your graveyard. And it just takes more time to play out all your lands from your hand with Sunder. And it's a very underplayed card. And in an artifact deck, it's really good because you just have all your mana rocks out, and it doesn't matter if you return all your lands to your hand. You're not feeling the pain as much as anybody else. So a fantastic card, but just it's really difficult to come back from Asunder. Yeah. A really underplayed card.
Underplayed card. I don't think I've ever seen that card.
I have never seen it played. I play it, but I've never seen it played. I just imagine if it was played against me, I'd get salty about it. This was actually kind of a hard... I know this episode was my idea, but this was kind of a hard list to make because I don't get... I'm like, well, it's legal, so...
Yeah, cool. Because I actually kind of felt the same way, and I was looking at cards, and just having a little bit of a problem picking stuff. So.
Yeah, it's which is good. I think we're both we're both of the opinion that it's just have a way to deal with it in your deck. Build a way into your deck to deal with it if you don't like it, which is what we both do. But still, there are cards that are ugh.
Yeah, I can still feel the salt from them. It's fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so this one was I imagine how salty I would get because I see how salty the other players get.
This is annoying. I don't want to get that card used on me.
Oh, so this card is great in Narset or any deck where you can get to cheat mana costs on a repeated basis because you don't care if all your lands are gone.
Yeah, but everyone else probably does.
They're upset. Yeah.
I guess in a deck that kind of lets you play multiple lands on a turn, Sunder could be kind of interesting because you can just ramp back into the game faster.
Yeah, a deck like Tachiova would be good because you could bounce all your lands and then just get card draw and life gain off of all of them.
Yeah.
That could be really good. Yeah.
Do you have that in?
I don't. I should put it in there because I have a couple of these lying around.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Moving on to 8. I threw in Aura Shards.
This is a good one.
One of anything, a green and a white enchantment. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, you may destroy target artifact or enchantment.
Yeah, people just stop playing artifacts and enchantments when this hits the battlefield.
I like artifacts and enchantments. This hits the battlefield. I'm I need to remove that right away. This card also gains a lot of hate.
Oh,
to be fair. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But, I hate seeing this card played because of that reason.
And we all run, to a greater or lesser degree, artifacts and enchantments in all of our commander decks. And, this card is just my shit's next.
Yeah.
I can't play this now because it's going to get destroyed. And you put that on the battlefield, and the player that has Aura Shards, it costs them nothing.
Nothing. They're just repeatable value for being there.
Yes, it's just a tempo play. They get a creature, and they remove a permanent.
Yep.
It's great. No, I love Aura Shards.
It's a good card.
It's a fantastic card, but it hurts.
It hurts a lot. Yeah. Get out of here.
Okay, so my number 8 is Humility. It's 2 and 2 white for an enchantment. Each creature loses all abilities and is a 1/1 creature. So that's a static effect.
It's just there.
Yes. So the creatures, I think I was playing a game once at a card shop, and a judge ruling was that the cards that were legendary still had the legendary super type with Humility. But otherwise, they were still 1/1 creatures.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that had any bearing on the game. I don't remember if that had any bearing on the game. But I'm actually not too salty about this card because of the effect that it has. It's really powerful and demoralizing if you're playing a creature strategy.
If you got big creatures and stuff, it hurts to see this card.
Absolutely. But it really... And, this isn't the player's fault, but it really just causes a lot of questions. It's every time we get to a new stage of the game and Humility's out, it's can this creature still do this? Can this creature still do this? And the answer with Humility, the answer is
no.
It's always no.
Just no.
Can't do. It's a 1/1 creature with no abilities.
It's not one of these ones where it's you can't use abilities unless it's a mana ability. No, it's just...
It's nothing. Yeah.
Nothing.
Old cards didn't give you that kind of extra, it's just, you got nothing. It's like Null Rod. Artifacts can't do anything. That being said, you can put equipments and auras on creatures, and then they have those buffs, but otherwise,
any abilities that the creature has itself.
yeah, just a 1/1 creature. Yeah, so it just kind of makes the game take longer. But easy to remove, not
Easy
that
to
bad.
remove. I'd also hope that like your deck is building around this somehow.
Yeah, like you would run this in a deck where you have lots of buff effects, right?
Yeah.
Or like a Voltron strategy.
There's a bunch of anthem effects, like your creatures are all big, opponents are nothing.
Yeah, they're just 1/1s. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this card is also really underplayed. It's only in 1,203 decks on EDH Rec.
Yeah,
But
very
that,
underplayed.
that might change though with all the new Super Friends decks that have shown up since War of the Spark came out.
Yeah, for sure.
Because this card is great in Super Friends decks because you're not running very many creatures. And you don't want the big scary creatures to attack your planeswalkers, so you put humility in there.
Super good for Planeswalker, Super Friends.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I used to run this in my Child of Alara Super Friends deck.
Nice, yeah. All right. 7?
Number 7, yeah, you got it.
Number 7, Consecrated Sphinx.
Oh, God, this is one of my favorite cards.
So Consecrated Sphinx is 4 of anything and 2 blue. It's a 4/6 flyer. Whenever an opponent draws a card, you may draw 2 cards. Really salty about this card because of just how much card advantage it generates just for having this creature out there.
Oh, God, it's good.
It's not like one of those like X spell draw from like blue has. Like if this doesn't get dealt with, you just get so many cards.
So often it doesn't get dealt with. It's just amazing.
Because you usually play it later in the game because it costs so much.
And that's what I'm talking about. Like in an earlier episode, I was talking about going out to card shops in town and how little removal there is. A Consecrated Sphinx is a great example of a card that just needs to be removed. And it's a creature. It's the easiest permanent to remove. And it just sits there. And then like 3 turns later, I guess I'll put a Greaves on it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I definitely do not like seeing it on the battlefield unless it's under my control.
It's just one of those cards where it's just like pretty much for 6 mana, if nobody deals with it, you've drawn 6 cards for 6 mana and you still have a 4/6 flyer. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, that it's a 4/6.
It's like a good creature too.
Yeah, it's a good beater, it's a good flying blocker.
Yeah.
It's just fantastic.
I actually haven't had this card in any of my decks.
Really, ever?
Ever, yeah.
Wow, I run it in quite a few of my decks.
Yeah.
It's just so good.
It is good.
Yeah,
I hate it.
It's value time. All right.
Actually, it was I never bought one, and then it got printed in the master set.
Yeah, that's when I picked up a few more. I had one from Mirrored and Besieged. But yeah, they were pretty. It was like $30 for a while, and then it dipped back down. I think it's probably getting up there again, but I picked them up when they were around like 15. I think that's.
Yeah, I cracked one in a pack, so I was like, yeah, I got one of these now.
And it's just sitting in your binder.
Sitting in my binder.
You're like, I won't play with it. Yeah, you're not a hypocrite like me. I'm like, I hate the card. I love the card.
I mean, still like Ristic Study. I still play Ristic Study.
Oh yeah,
it's great.
You got to. You want to win, don't you?
Yeah, right.
All right, my number 7 is Void Winnower. Yeah, that's usually the noise people make.
I love this card.
So Void Winnower is 9 mana for an 11/9 Eldrazi. Your opponents can't cast spells with even converted mana costs. Your opponents can't block with creatures with even converted mana costs. A 0 is even.
0 is even. That's a lot of thinking.
That's what the card says. I wasn't being a jerk. Yeah, this card is fantastic. I love this card.
I think this is the first Eldrazi I bought. I saw it and I was like, yeah.
Yeah. And, I play with it in a few of my decks, but it does require everybody to remember what creatures can block and which spells can be cast. And when you're playing this card, you really have to pay attention to the game a lot more, because if somebody casts an even spell and you don't catch it,
what happens?
Shit happens, right?
Yeah.
So you really have to be on point and people are going to do things and you'll be like, no, you can't do that. No, you can't do that. No, you can't do that. So it just, again, it just kind of makes things take longer. And like I said, I play this card too, but, it's, it just makes things take longer.
And also, like, whenever I play this card, always somebody tries to play an even convert mana cost spell. Like, always.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're just like, oh, I'm just going to go back to my regular turn. You're like, no, can't do that. And then look at their hand again, and they're like, I can't do anything. Yeah.
That's what's so great about a digital format.
Yeah.
Because you just can't do those things, right? The game reads everything, and it won't allow you to do those things.
That. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely see what this is a salty card.
Yeah, this is real salty.
It's fun.
It's a ton of fun.
It also costs 9 mana, so like it takes a little bit to get there.
Yeah, it's not like you can cast it right away. You know? It's and that's why I don't feel like super salty about it because it is 9 mana.
Yeah, it's big. It costs a lot of mana.
It's like you had to work to get there.
Yeah.
It's not like you're casting this on turn 4 in Tron. It's just not gonna. Well, I don't know. It'll be okay.
It's like if you hard cast Omniscience, it's like.
Yeah, you deserve it. Yeah, that's fine. It's like, I hard cast Omniscience, but I had infinite mana. And at that point, why do you need Omniscience?
Why do you need Omniscience? All right. Moving on. I got Iona, Shield of Emeria.
I wonder if we're going to have any of the same ones. We haven't yet.
It's interesting. So this is 6 of anything and 3 white for a 7/7 flyer. As Iona enters the battlefield, choose a color. Your opponents can't cast spells of the chosen color.
So I will admit I have built an angel deck, and I put this in here just because you can just shut somebody down.
Yeah.
And that's somebody, and I was playing a monocolored angel deck, and I'm speaking as someone who loves to play monocolored decks. Somebody plays this card, it's like, yeah, you got me. Good.
Yeah, like that's
great. You did it.
Probably one of the saltiest things. Like you just shut off my whole color.
But that's
of my deck.
Yeah, and that's why if you're doing that, if you're running a monocolored deck, you should run spells like Scour from Existence and Meteor Golem and Spine of Ishsaw, so you can deal with things like this.
There you go. Yeah.
These 7 mana solve a problem.
Solve it. Even in dual color decks and stuff, like getting half your deck turned off, and then of course your hand, the color they choose is what's in your hand. Always. You're like, well, I just can't play anything now.
You kind of sound a little superstitious.
That's how it's worked out for me. So.
And it's always the colors in my hand.
I don't know how it works that way, but always.
They must know.
Yeah. Probably see my hand somehow.
Through your eyes.
Maybe.
Right? The reflection. Like Austin Powers.
Yeah. Oh boy.
All right, let's move on to my number 6.
Hey.
Ganic Teague. 1 green and 1 white for a Kithkin Advisor. He's a 2/2. Non-creature spells with converted mana cost 4 or greater can't be cast. Non-creature spells with X in their mana cost can't be cast.
This guy is annoying as hell.
Generally, if a card has the words can't be cast,
yeah,
it's going to be upsetting for somebody at the table. If you have a creature deck, you're just like, great. Now it's just me against this guy.
Yeah, I don't care.
But on our Pet Cards episode, one of Eric's was Toxic Deluge.
Yeah.
And that's one of the few cards that deals with Ganic Teague. I think we've all played against that Captain Sisse deck where, one of their first tutors is Ganic Teague.
Yeah.
And it's just hope you're playing black. Just a really annoying card. Just a card that shuts down entire decks.
It really does, yeah. Because they put that extra part about there with X in their mana cost. Because then if your spell, you're like, oh, I could cast it for 2 or 3, right? You're like, no, it has X in it as well. So just no.
Yeah, and that's what's so great about Toxic Deluge. You are paying an X cost, but it's not in the mana cost.
Yeah, it's part of the life, so.
Yeah.
Single removal gets rid of this too, but like, who wants to run like Path to Exile and stuff in Commander?
Not me.
It's just not good value.
I'd rather run Swords to Plowshares because I don't care if they gain life.
Yeah.
All right.
Halfway point number 5.
Halfway point number 5, my friend.
Number 5, Seaborn Muse.
Oh, no way. Seaborn Muse is my number 4.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, samers.
All right. Well, we might as well talk about it now.
And I love Seaborn Muse. Don't get me wrong.
Sure.
I played in decks.
Yeah. We were even close on the number on that one, too.
We were,
cool.
yeah.
So 3 of anything and 2 green. It's a 2/4. It's okay stats. Untap all permanents you
control. It could be a 1/1. I wouldn't care.
Yeah. Untap all permanents you control during each other player's untap step.
So,
like...
It's just, it takes so much longer.
Because now that person is getting a turn every single turn.
And you just be like, I have upkeep. I'm going to do something on your upkeep. So
every
don't
time.
draw a card.
You can draw a card.
And people like have their hand on top of their deck, like waiting.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, this is going to take some time. Big, whoa, don't draw a card.
I'm going to do stuff.
And I know that they're just like, ooh. And like when that's happened to me before I started playing with Seaborn Muse.
Yeah.
I think like in the like at that Thursday Night Magic group where you and I met.
Yeah.
That's like there was a guy there that played with Seaborn Muse and it would be, I'm gonna have an upkeep trigger and so I know how salty Seaborn Muse made me.
Yeah.
So salty that I was
time.
like, I gotta get this card and put it in this deck.
Let me take a 15-minute turn for everybody's turn.
It just takes so long.
It takes so long. Mm-hmm. Stop.
And hopefully after like one go around, you can win with Seaborn Muse. Like in my Gisson deck, like I try to get to Crater of Behemoth by the time it gets back to me.
Yeah, just to get that win.
Yeah, just to wrap things up because I know how just how tedious it can be.
Yeah.
Just a fantastic card. And like pick them up now because it's going up in price since it's Battle Bond printing. Like I think it's up to like close to $15 to $18. Again.
Yeah. It is just like a really good card, stable commander card.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
It's annoying as hell.
Of course it's annoying. Why do you think Prophet of Krufix was banned?
Exactly. Now you just need this and... What gives your green creatures flash?
Oh, Yeva. Nature's Herald. Also run that in Yasan. So
Why not?
So you can get Yeva on 4 and then Seedborn on 5.
Gross.
Also, the new Vivian has a Yeva effect. The new Vivian Planeswalker from War of the Spark. Her static ability.
The 3-mana one?
Her static ability is you can cast green creatures as though they had flash.
Sweet.
But you can't search for her with Yasan, so.
That was good.
She's pretty good. Okay, so my number 5 is Death Cloud.
Yeah.
Death Cloud is X black for a sorcery. Each player loses X life, discards X cards, sacrifices X creatures, then sacrifices X lands.
It's disgusting.
So I think if it didn't make you sacrifice the lands,
Wouldn't be as bad.
it wouldn't hurt so much. There's something about making us lose our lands that it just cuts very, very deep. Because that's our tool to play the game.
Yeah.
So when those are gone, it's like, well,
What do I do to play the game?
I'm just going to go home now, and I'm not going to talk to you guys anymore. There are some decks that this card is great in. I've actually played this a little bit in my Lord Windgrace deck. It didn't quite make the cut, but in a Gitrog monster deck, this card's great because all those lands that you sacrifice, you just draw the cards.
Yeah, super good.
And if you discard any land cards, you just draw the cards.
Again.
So it's really not that bad. And I guess if you sacrifice a Dryad Arbor, you'd also draw a card.
Yeah, you would.
But yeah, this card is just backbreaking. And if you play it at the right time and with the right advantages, then you're setting yourself up to win the game. But I find, kind of like Obliterate or Armageddon or Sunder, is this card is played without much of a follow-up. And then we're kind of just restarting the game.
Yeah, the person's like, hey, I got this card. Cast it for max X.
Yeah.
And you're like,
all right, well, should we start over?
Should we just start another game? Like, this is when like having Sigarda or something on your side is good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh God, she's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Sigarda and the new that other new Planeswalker, Tamio. The new Tamio does the same thing.
Yes. Yeah.
And she also stops you from discarding cards.
Yeah.
So with this, all you do is lose life and lose life.
She's really good. I was actually playing, funny little side story, I was playing Arena, and then my friend called me, so I was like on the phone talking, and I didn't clue into them having Tamio out there. Mm-hmm. Played my Liliana. I was like, make opponents sacrifice 2 creatures.
Uh-huh.
So they don't, because they have Tamio.
Right.
And I'm like, fuck my life. And then I had another spell that made them sacrifice a creature, because it was on the phone. I did it again.
Oh, no.
I was like, I should swoop at this point.
And then you said to the person you were on the phone with, like, look what you made me do.
It's pretty much like I'm playing so bad right now. Oh, it's terrible.
I wanted to ask you with Arena, is there a turn time limit, or is it like MTGO when there's a timer for both players?
No, it has a turn thing.
So how much time do you get on a turn? It's like 90 seconds?
Something like that. It doesn't have a timer.
No,
like,
Hearthstone doesn't have a timer either, but you get a rope and it's
it's turn by time and then it starts going down. Yeah, it's like that.
Okay.
It might be 2 minutes.
Yeah, that makes sense, because like Magic kind of scales up, right? Like, can you imagine if you had like Commander on Arena?
Right.
Like the turns would have to get longer as the game progressed, because
And so
our turns just end up taking longer.
yeah, right. And so what they do is you have these little time capsules, and so if you take turns quickly over,
you can bank time.
You like bank time.
Okay.
So then like later in the game, if you have to make some decisions, you kind of have this bank time. So it's interesting.
That is a cool effect.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it rewards players that play a little faster.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I think I still might rather have just a straight up timer.
Yeah. No, I think so too.
Because like most of the time when I'm on there, people don't just like do nothing. People are actually playing.
Yeah,
So,
of course.
yeah,
No,
of course,
generally you don't like rope players, as we like to say in Hearthstone.
Yeah, no.
Unless you're trying to get them.
Get them good.
All right, so like I said, my
Seaborn Muse.
was Seaborn Muse.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on to top 3 Salties.
Well, I still have number 4.
Oh, that's right. You have a number 4. Let's hear
Yeah.
your number 4.
It's an artifact. Paradox Engine. Super new. Yeah. This guy costs 5 mana. When it's on the battlefield, whenever you cast a spell, untap all non-land permanents you control.
That's good.
It's pretty good. The reason I don't like this card, I think, is because it's just like so easy to combo with.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
you do have to have somewhat of a board state to make it work. Like, it doesn't do anything on its own.
On its own, no.
And I've seen players that dirtle with Paradox Engine and don't do, they do advance their board, but they don't win the game.
Sure.
They just end up taking long turns, which can be fun. I like taking long
Could
turns.
be, yeah. But
I
it's
also
also
don't
like, if you're in artifacts, you probably have a bunch of mana rocks, and like if you just start casting spells, like...
Yes, it does make it very, very easy to combo with.
I'll just like watch you for 20 minutes, and the game's over.
Yeah, it
Sweet.
would be, and I'm always a fan of saying like, here's the combo. This is what I can do.
Yeah.
Would you like to
just concede?
Yes. Or
Yeah.
I ask, would you like me to go into it, or would you? What do you think?
What do you think at this point?
Yeah, and most people would be like, yeah, let's just shuffle up and play again.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I agree. It can, and I think a lot of our complaints so far have been this makes the game take maybe unnecessarily longer.
Yeah.
But that's subjective, right?
It is. All right. I guess I'll go again with starting off our top threes.
I'll go
switch it up?
I'll go to my number 3. So my number 3 is Soren Markov.
Yeah.
He's 3 and 3 black for a 4 loyalty planeswalker. His +2 is Soren deals 2 damage to target creature or player, and you gain 2 life.
So powerful.
His -3 is target opponent's life total becomes 10.
That must be.
And his -7 is you control target player during that player's next turn. So that's a pretty, like, the last 2 are pretty powerful effects.
Yeah.
Usually you don't use his -7, but if you did, it'd be very powerful. There's only 2 other cards in Magic that let you do that.
Mm-hmm.
But target opponent's life total becomes 10. So like Sarah Ascendant, this is another example of a card that was designed without Commander in mind.
Yeah.
Because now this would say target opponent's life total becomes half of their starting life total.
Yeah.
But and in Standard, that's what this would be. But in Commander, your life total becomes a third of your starting life total, which just doesn't feel fair.
Doesn't feel fair or good in Commander.
Yeah. So, and I've heard some players say that this should be banned. You know, I don't think that's the case because it doesn't just one shot kill players.
You still have to get past that 10 damage.
Absolutely. But it still just doesn't feel good, you know. But it's like Magister Sphinx.
I was gonna say, like, there's
right?
a creature that does that.
Yeah, and it's an enter the battlefield ability. So if you can blink it multiple times in a turn, you can have all your opponent's life totals become 10.
I think it's like easier to abuse than
Soren here.
Soren. Yeah.
I think just because like Magister Sphinx is Esper, you know, like
it's a lot harder to.
It can be harder, right? Like in an Esper deck, Soren might be more difficult to cast because he's triple black. But yeah, it just it's a card that existed before Commander was very popular, and so it just falls into that category of it feels like it violates the rules of Commander because you just lost a third of your life total.
Yeah. Or if I was gaining life, I just lost like 50 life.
Yeah.
Huh?
Exactly. So yeah, it just doesn't feel good. Great card, love this card, but it's just like, ugh.
Yeah.
Doesn't feel good.
It hurts every time.
And that's really why you're running it, right? It basically reads 6 mana. Target opponent's life total becomes 10, and then someone gets rid of it. Someone like hits it for 1.
1 and it's gone.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. You're getting that 1 ability once and like that's it.
And that's enough.
It is.
Yeah. I run this in my Zoncha deck because then you only have to activate Zoncha 5 times and they're dead.
Yeah, there we go. Cool. All right. Number 3. Krong.
Oh, this is another one I've heard that's like, this should be banned.
Right, so Krong costs 5 and 2 blue. It's a 4/5 flyer. You don't really care about that part. When Krong enters the battlefield, untap up to 7 lands. So it kind of makes his casting cost free.
Mm-hmm. As long as you have 7 lands.
Well, I mean, you hopefully are there for casting him.
Yeah.
And then you can pay 2 and 2 blue, return Krong to its owner's hand. So for 4 mana, it goes back to your hand. So if you have like dual land or like double lands,
like Nykthos,
yeah, or then just like,
lands that produce more than 1 mana. Yeah.
This instantly becomes just like an easy
infinite mana combo. If you have enough lands, this is an infinite mana combo on its own.
Is it?
Yeah, if you have if you have the right lands.
Yeah, if you have the right lands, yeah.
Because if you have let's say you have a Nykthos and you have enough blue pips.
Right there, you're just like gaining infinite mana, done. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like minus the land. Like, because like you're going to be playing lands for that mana cost anyways. So this is kind of like a 1-card infinite mana.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In a way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that just kind of sucks to see. You're just like, I play this 1 card, I have infinite mana now. You're like, whoa. It's only like a 2-card or 3-card combo like a lot of the other ones are.
Yeah, and generally when somebody does activate Palancron's activated ability, that's your opportunity to get rid of it. That's the best time to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Because
it's on the battlefield, you can respond to that trigger. That's your time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like I run this in my Memnarch deck because it's just one more way to get infinite blue mana.
Yeah.
To just take everything.
And it's like if you just have like board wipes or whatever, Palancron's going to dodge all that. Mm-hmm. So you can just return it whenever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfun. Salty.
Yes, it is.
That's why we're here.
It's a fantastic card, but it's just seems broken.
Yeah.
All right, so my number 2 is All is Dust. 7 mana for a tribal sorcery, Eldrazi. Each player sacrifices all colored permanents they control. So when it comes to board wipes, I believe that edict effects are the best.
Sure.
Because they get around indestructible, shroud, hexproof, all that stuff. And, you know, this one is just so backbreaking because it's all your... It can be all your permanents. Besides lands, it can be everything.
Yeah.
If it has a color, it's gone.
Just gone.
So it just feels really, really bad. If you get hit with one of these.
Yeah, and like usually the player playing this has like a decent amount of color stuff.
Yeah, they're an artifact deck or it's an Eldrazi deck.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes they're not getting hit with anything. This can be a total asymmetrical board wipe.
Yeah. And it's like better than other board wipes because if the creatures are indestructible still.
If anything's indestructible.
It still goes away.
Yeah, you got to sacrifice it. That's why you need to have Sigarda.
Yeah. Just run Sigarda in all your decks, blue-white or green-white.
Yeah, you really should.
Yeah.
Yes. just do it. Yeah, and this is also a really underplayed card. But you know, because if you don't put it in the right deck, you're really gonna feel the pain.
Yeah, you're gonna hit yourself with it still too.
And it is 7 mana. It's not like you can sit around for 7 turns and not do anything.
No.
I guess if you plan to cast this, maybe you can, but
it's like it's expensive compared to other board wipes. Mm-hmm. And then with other board wipes, you just kind of concentrate on creatures. Like if I have enchantments and stuff, I'm good.
Right.
But with this, all of it.
Yeah, it's all gone. All right, what is your number 2?
It is.
Ooh.
Vorinclex.
Interesting.
Voice of Hunger. So it's 6 of anything and 2 green. It's a 7/6 with trample, pretty good creature. Whenever you tap a land for mana, add 1 mana to your mana pool of any type that land could produce. And then whenever an opponent taps a land for mana, that land doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step.
So Vorinclex resolves the player that has to pay mana to remove him, that land still doesn't untap, right?
Yeah. But also, like with other cards we've had on here, if nobody has an answer to it, you either like don't want to play your stuff, or if you do, you still get set back like a turn +1. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so this is like a double ramp card. And if no one has an answer to it, I just feel like let's just start another game. Because it's just going to take way too long, and they're going to get way too far ahead.
Yeah.
Because all your lands double now, and everyone's is like 0.5 because they don't untap.
Yeah, that's a good way to think about it.
Yeah.
These are all half lands now.
So that just hurts a lot. It just sucks. And like this is probably one of the cards I think I hated the earliest when playing Commander. Because people were playing it, and I was like, that's so brutal. I can't do anything. And if no one has something to remove it with, like I said, I don't want to play stuff into it. And then they're going to be playing twice as much stuff because all the lands still tap for double.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you need an All is Dust.
Yeah. Well, you don't get to untap 7 lands your next turn still.
That's rough. It's almost like you want to make a deal with the other 2 opponents or the 3 opponents. Where you're like, I have an All is Dust and I can deal with the Vorinclex, but I need you guys to like if the player
take a turn off.
Yeah, take a turn off. But if the player that played Vorinclex, if they play other stuff, I need you to deal with it so that we're all kind of at parity when it gets back to my turn.
Yeah, you got to really like converse the board to like
help
go against. Yeah,
yes. That's because that's 7. That could be 7 lands.
That's brutal.
Worst case scenario.
That's like 2 of your turns, depending on when it is in the game.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Don't like that card.
All right. Well, we changed.
We changed direction here.
Yeah.
So starting us off with the finale.
It's Finale of Devastation. No, it's not. It's Scrambleverse. I hate this card.
What is this?
Yeah. It's 6 and 2 red for a sorcery. For each non-land permanent, choose a player at random. Then each player gains control of each permanent for which he or she was chosen. Untap those permanents. I know. I had to read it a few times the first time I saw it.
Yikes.
So for each non-land permanent, you choose a player at random. So if, let's say, Eric has five lands, 3 islands, 2 forests, and somebody plays Scrambleverse, we have to roll a dice or flip a coin. Probably a dice is better because we're playing with multiple players.
Yeah, so you roll
for each one of those lands, and we assign a number designation to each player, and whatever number that dice comes up for each one of those permanents, that's who gets that permanent.
Yeah.
And you do that for every single permanent on the battlefield. And then everyone gains control of them. So this resolves. The amount of time that this takes to resolve could be about 45 minutes. Because it's 8 mana. And then you untap those permanents, and then you move forward with the game. So generally this card is going to be played in Chaos decks, which already can make the game take a very long time if the deck is not built to win, I'll say.
You're hoping to get lucky.
I don't know what they're hoping for. I really don't.
At this point, I just don't even know how to help you.
So just the time it takes to resolve this card can, I was in a game once where we were playing against a Chaos deck, and somebody played this card, and I shuffled up, and it was late. I went home, and the other 2 players followed suit. Just because the amount of time it takes to resolve this.
Yeah.
It's just, it's too much.
And it's not like a justifiable win. You just play this card and you don't win from it.
No, you win because everyone doesn't want to play with you anymore. Which is a win.
It's a win, but is that a feel-good win? What?
No one feels good. No. You just feel dirty.
Yeah.
So, I've only seen this card one time, but, I didn't care for it. I still don't. And the flavor text, sometimes a little chaos is in order. This card, that's true. I think sometimes a little chaos is in order.
Sure.
But this card is not a little chaos.
No, this is a ton.
This is everything. 30 minutes of chaos. It's
too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just, it's a bit much. Yeah.
I do kind of like the art, though.
I like the art a lot. Yeah. It's very cool. It's cool, but the effect
is terrible.
It just takes too long.
Yeah, it takes way too long.
That's a game. You could play a game in that amount of time.
Yeah, just to resolve this one card.
Yeah, you just stay here, the person that casts Scrambleverse, and you resolve the card, and the 3 of us are going to start another game.
Yeah, we're just going to grab different decks.
And we'll leave everything here, but we're going to start another game over here. Come on.
Oh, man. That's a really good topic.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
I hate it.
I really hate this card. All right. Time for my number 1.
Ooh.
I went with Stasis.
Nice. Yeah, that's a good one.
One of anything, 1 blue. Players skip their untap steps. The person who played Stasis at the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice it unless you pay a blue. Which is only 1.
Just 1 blue.
Just 1 blue.
Yeah.
So you have a mana rock, you're fine.
Yes.
Oh, wait.
No, not a mana rock. You have to have a way to a Teferi or a Tezzeret, a way to...
untap stuff. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, or a Seaborn Muse.
Or a Seaborn Muse.
That works.
Yeah.
Just untap everything.
But yeah, Stasis...
Not on your turn, though.
Stasis is terrible.
Yeah, it's pretty...
On top of just you not being able to play Magic, it makes the game go so slow.
Mm-hmm. And I think the idea with Stasis a lot of times is that you play Stasis, you lock the game down, you have a way to untap and pay for it every turn. And you haven't won the game, but your opponents will concede.
Yes.
Because they can no longer play the game.
Yeah. You can still end up playing lands, then you have like a turn or two to do something.
That's true.
So like it just gives you that like faint hope to like, I'll get those lands, get that removal, get stasis gone, we can keep playing. But it'll be like another like 10 turns later. Half an hour, 45 minutes has gone by of just like drawing.
Just draw go.
Draw go.
Yeah. That doesn't that doesn't feel good.
No. So
yeah, and any card that it's kind of says you can't play Magic anymore. It's like, okay, well I won't then. Well, let's play let's play another game of Magic.
Yeah, let's play another game of Magic if we can't play this one.
Yeah. Very good top pick.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, that's not going to get a reprint anytime soon.
Never, I don't think.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we sure hope that you enjoyed our top 10 list of our saltiest cards. And if there are any cards that you find incredibly salty, please contact us and let us know. If you want to get in touch with us and let us know about your salty cards, you can find us at Turn1SoulRing, the podcast, at gmail.com, on Instagram at Turn1SoulRing _ the podcast, and you can follow me on Instagram at Command Beacon. Next week on the show, we're going to be starting our Color Pie series with the color white. We'll talk about all of white's strengths and weaknesses and some of our favorite white cards.
Cool.
We're currently doing our July giveaway of 3 core 2020 packs. That's happening on our Instagram page, and you can enter that giveaway by finding the Instagram post for our core set 2020 set review. Follow the instructions on that post, and you'll be entered for a chance to win those packs. We'll be announcing the winner of that giveaway on August 1st, at which point we will be starting our September giveaway, which we haven't decided what exactly that's going to be yet, but we will definitely let you know when we do. And wherever you listen to this show, you can find us on Apple Podcast, Google Play, and SoundCloud. You can also find us on YouTube. When searching for us in the search field on YouTube, just search Turn 1 Soul Ring, all one word, and you'll be able to find us. And we'll talk to you guys and girls next week.
Also, if somebody takes all these cards and makes a deck and goes and plays with it, let us know.
Yeah, that would
let us know how it goes.
Yeah, let us know how it goes. You know, maybe you'll be playing with a bunch of people that like really get off on saltiness.
Yeah,
they just love it.
They just love it. Anyways, thanks.
Yeah, thank you all for listening, and go get them, Tigers.
Turn 1 Soul Ring.